A little less than 13,000 years ago, something very dramatic happened in the history of our planet that we're going to explore in great detail. Because what happened in the past is now affecting every aspect of our life today. Everything we experience in our daily living, including the particular technologies we use, the wars that erupt, the foods we eat, and even the way we perceive our lives, is the direct result of a certain sequence of events that happened during the end of Atlantean times. The consequences of these ancient events have entirely changed the way we live and interpret reality. Everything is connected. There is only one reality and one God, but there are many ways that that one reality can be interpreted. In fact, the number of ways to interpret the reality are just about infinite. There are certain realities that many people have agreed on, and these realities are called levels of consciousness. For reasons we'll get into, there are specific realities that extremely large numbers of beings are focusing on, which includes the one you and I are experiencing right now. At one time we existed on Earth in a very high level of awareness that was far beyond anything we can imagine right now. We hardly have even the capability to imagine where we once were, because who we were then is so out of context with who we are now. Because of the particular events that happened between 16 and 13,000 years ago, humanity fell from that very high place through many dimensions and overtones, ever increasing in density, until we reached this particular place, which we call the third dimension on planet Earth. When we fell, and it was like a fall, we were in an uncontrolled spiral of consciousness, moving down through the dimensions of consciousness. We were out of control, and it was very much like falling through space. When we arrived here in the third dimension, certain specific changes took place, both physiologically and in the way we functioned in reality. The most important change was in the way that we breathed prana, the life force energy of this universe. Prana is more critical to our survival than air, water, food, or any other substance. And the manner in which we take this energy into our bodies radically affects how we perceive the reality. In Atlantean times and earlier, the way we breathed prana was directly related to the electromagnetic energy fields that surround our bodies. All the energy forms in our fields are geometric, and the one we will be working with is a star tetrahedron, which consists of two interlocked tetrahedrons. Another way of thinking of it is as a three-dimensional Star of David. The apex of the upper pointing tetrahedron terminates one hand's length above the head, and the apex of the downward pointing tetrahedron terminates one hand's length below the feet. A connecting tube runs from the upper apex to the lower point through the body's main energy centers or chakras. This tube for your body has the diameter of the circle you make when you touch your longest finger to your thumb. It looks like a glass fluorescent tube, except it has a crystalline structure at the ends that fit into the two apexes of the star tetrahedron. Before the fall of Atlantis, we used to bring prana simultaneously up and down this tube, and the two prana flows would meet inside one of our chakras. Specifically, how and where the prana meets has always been an important aspect of this ancient science. Another major point in the human body is the pineal gland, located almost in the center of the head, which is a huge factor in consciousness. This gland has degenerated from its original size, comparable to a ping pong ball, to its present size, that of a dried pea. Pranic energy used to flow through the center of the pineal gland. This gland, according to Jacob Liberman, author of Light, the Medicine of the Future, looks like an eye, and in some respects, it is literally an eyeball. It's round and has an opening on one portion. In that opening is a lens for focusing light. Held inside the pineal gland, even in its shrunken size, are all the sacred geometries and understandings of exactly how the reality was created. It's all there, in every single person. But these understandings are not accessible to us now because we lost our memories during the fall. And without our memories, we started to breathe differently. Instead of taking in prana through the pineal gland and circulating it up and down our central tube, we started breathing it in through the nose and mouth. This caused the prana to bypass the pineal gland, which resulted in our seeing things in a totally different way, through a different interpretation of the one reality. The result of this polarity consciousness has us thinking that we're inside a body looking out, somehow separated from what's out there. This is pure illusion. It feels real, but there is no truth at all to this perception. It's merely the view of reality we have from this fallen state. For example, there is nothing wrong with anything that happens, for God is in control of the creation. But from one point of view, a polarity view, looking at the planet and how it evolves, we should not have fallen down here. In a normal curve of evolution, we should not be here. Something happened to us that was not supposed to happen. We went through a mutation. We had a chromosome breakage, you might say. So the Earth has been on red alert for almost 13,000 years, and many beings and levels of consciousness have been working together to figure out how to get us back onto the path where we have been before. The time to wake up is now. It's time to wake up. Enlightenment is here. Enlightenment is here. It's time to wake up. The time to wake up. Enlightenment is here. Now. Enlightenment is here.